Okay, first, I'm going to start this segment with a disclaimer. I am not making, nor is Jay making any personal proclamations about your personal faith-based beliefs, right? Those are personally held beliefs that are between you and your deity, whoever you choose to do, whether it is the furry OctoKitty or Buddha, Jesus, whoever. Again, we're not commenting on your personal religious beliefs. We are merely talking about politics and news that have to do with religion because we are in the worst timeline. And it's funny, okay? For those that don't know, our Vice President, JD Vance, was an adult convert to Catholicism. And I will tell you right now, becoming an adult convert to Catholicism is a pain in the ass. You gotta want it bad, okay? You have to go to school. You gotta do a bunch of stuff. It's not easy, okay? Anyway, a few days ago, during an interview, he used a thing as part of Catholic doctrine called Ordo Amoris, the Order of Love, to discuss about how they were treating migrants in this country, right? And now the Pope is calling out the Vance and Trump administration for their treatment of immigrants, okay? This is a big step by the Pope. He issued a big, long statement to the bishops in America saying, that's not what Ordo Amoris means. That's not what we're talking about here. And he basically corrected the vice president's theology that he tried to use to justify his politics on, like, the Pope put him on blast, which is a first, right? No Pope has ever called out a president or vice president's politics in an official release from the Vatican. There was a funny clip circulating on CNN where they were talking about this, and their right-wing talking point guy was, called out about, hey, the Pope is saying what you guys are doing is not Christian, right? Like, you're supposed to be welcoming of the migrants. And he was like, nah, and they were like, but this is a Judeo-Christian society. Like, you guys keep telling us this, right? It's the conservatives who keep saying, we're a Judeo-Christian society. So the guy who leads the largest Christian church on the planet is saying, hey, guys, you got it wrong. At the same time, our president signed an executive order installing the Office of Faith at the White House, and it is headed by a certain evangelical nutbar Florida pastor, I put that in quotes, and ministry president Paula White. I encourage you to go look up her stuff. At some point, it's interesting, and I'm sure as an evangelical, she just loves the Catholic Church. Okay, so Jay's over here just shaking his head. Obviously, she's from Florida. She runs a mega church in Florida. Jay, as a former Florida resident, are you surprised in any way?
No more cat ears. You guys have lost the privilege of cat ears. You guys don't deserve cat ears. No. Oh God. I'm not surprised of if it's in the anything that if you said, Jay, are you surprised something, Florida, something, religion? My answer is gonna be no. Like, it's always gonna be no. Not surprised at all. I'm surprised that we have a position at the White House for religion because, I thought there was a separation of church and state. Thought that was like a thing that we were founded on. But yeah, when it comes to Florida, no, I'm not surprised at all. I lived there for 32 years.
Are
32 years?
Are you
Yeah.
familiar with this particular evangelical pastor? Have you seen the clips of her?
No.
She's very much the speaking in tongues, do kind of type.
No, so the only ones that I like typically see or did see, they were all like traditionally very male, very white male, like
Oh,
very
she's very white. Like she's very. There's our thing. That's her.
she does look very Florida.
She looks very Florida evangelical. She's been on the scene for a while as a celebrity pastor and a pastor for celebrities.
Oh,
Um, she's one of those people that really loves praying over people and speaking in tongues. Are you familiar with the practice?
yes.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, now she is the head of the White House Office of Faith. And again, these people typically don't like the Catholic Church, right? Like the evangelical church and the Catholic Church generally do not jive. In fact, I saw a commentary today where somebody was like, "They're not real Christians, the Catholics," right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of things that I mean, just not even just normal. I guess don't want to say normal. I'm sorry. Um, Christians say in general about Catholics. You know, I've heard a lot of like,
Mary,
you worship idols, you worship other people other than
Saint, yeah.
Jesus and God, and um, all of that. So yeah, they don't no. They don't get along.
Which again, to me, is ironic that she's heading up the White House Office of Faith, and I am sure she may have said it publicly at some point. I am sure she would consider Catholics heretics. Um, are the Catholics the oldest surviving Christian sect? Good question. Uh, Debatable. You could argue the Gnostics are the oldest surviving Christian sect. Um, tough to say. Tough to say. Um, I don't think I can't speak to that. I
I
can't
don't know.
speak to it. Um, I I Jesus. I don't know. Um, hey, but here's my idea, and let me run this idea by you. And again, disclaimers up front. I'm not making fun of anybody's specific faith, but could we just get the admin to declare a religious holy war on itself? Right?
Yeah.
Like, is that possible? Maybe we could just get them to fight themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then
that seems like the best option to me.
but then you're in the issue of like a holy war. You're everyone's like killing each other in the name of the same God, which is we've been doing it since like the dawn of time.
It just might thin out the herd a little bit. We can all just kind of hide for a couple of years, let them fight it out, and then, blah.
Yeah. Um, where would we hide though?
I mean, we live in Seattle. We're pretty far away.
We are pretty far away.
We're pretty far away, you know. This is why I live in the Pacific Northwest, because they forget we exist, right?
Ah,
I'm if you go, and actually you'll be able to answer this for me. If I went to Florida, right? And I asked a random person in Florida, "Have you been to Washington?" What do you think their first instinct would be? That I'm talking about Washington State or Washington D.C.?
ooh. So that is very tricky. I would say the chances are you're most likely going to bump into someone they're going to think you're talking about Washington D.C. Um, but I will say there are people though um, who actually might think of our lovely state of Washington because there's actually a lot of people in Florida that I personally knew that they want to come here, they want to move here.
Because it's
They
nice.
Yeah, they want to escape Florida, but they just don't have the means to. I don't know. Maybe we should start like a GoFundMe or something and start raising up money to kind of
To move people from Florida to other places.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know. Um, yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below. I have yet to see any response from JD Vance to his little hand slap from the Pope. Um, and for anybody that wonders why, go ahead and look up papal infallibility, which is a core belief of the Catholic Church. Um, you know, they, I don't think JD can say anything. That's the problem, and I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, you don't, um, you might in today's society be able to take your wife to a lovely award show and,
Have her wear nylon dress.
yeah, and display everything for all to see. But one thing you cannot do is you cannot argue with the Pope.
Okay. Papal
Uh,
infallibility is kind of a core tenet. Sorry,
yeah.
folks. All right. Yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Yeah, let us know your thoughts.